So I'm going to do a bit of a shop video here in the shop today. I've got a bike here for service. It's a Tomac Montezuma frame that is being used as a winter bike. It's got a set of our Pickering's bikes carbon wheels in it with Pirelli classic tyres on there in a size 30. That one's got a TPU tube in it by the looks of it. It's a Ride Now tube. Can't quite see. It's got TRP HYRD brakes on it, or high road, so it's a bit of a modification. It's a Shimano Tiagra 4700 10-speed setup. It's got a bit of a 3D printed Garmin mount there, quite nice, and one of Downhill Smooth Tarmac stickers underneath there. It says Double Up Dave. What else have we got? A bit of a modification here. So it's a R7000 crankset with absolute black oval chain rings. They're 30 tooth, 46 tooth rings. 105 front derailleur. Works perfectly well with the Tiagra levers. Tiagra 4700 rear mech. And 1134 cassette. So the TRP high roads are cable operated hydraulic actuated brakes, and actually they're pretty good, pretty strong, a bit heavy, a bit bulky. As you can see, that cable in there has seen better days. Okay, so what we want to do with this is we're going to change over to TPU tubes all round, a new brand, Wheel Science Nano TPU tubes. We've had a check over it, not much else wrong other than the brakes are, as you can see, very, very slack, and it's almost like the cables, the inner cable stuck in the outer cable, and it's actually causing the discs to catch a little bit. The front one's worse than the back one. Back one just goes a little bit, but it's not what you want, so we need to renew the cables. Gears work fine. Generally though, the bike has had a bit of a hard time recently, as you can see. Very muddy. Yep. Okay. So, we'll do a bit of a before video, which is this one. Can't do anything better at the moment because I'm using my phone. Do intend to get something a bit better so I can show you some servicing in the videos, actually on the job servicing. But I will do an after video as well. Okay, one last thing, a Brooks saddle, super. Right, so brakes. What I've had to do is I had a sticky piston, which was why it wasn't returning. If I push the actuator lever there, you can see the pistons popping out. So what I've done is I've put some oil behind them. That one wasn't actually moving, the one on that side there, but the one on that side was. Yeah. So what I've done, took the pads out, of course, put a bit of oil on the pistons, got them moving. Also oiled the top here because that was looking particularly grotty. So now the pistons are moving quite nicely. I don't know whether if I put this here, you can see piston moving there, and pads, you can see that there's a bit of corrosion on there. I can get focus, there we are, a bit of corrosion on it. Yeah, and that corrosion had found its way into the pistons a little bit as well and gummed them up. That's the other one, not quite as bad. There we go. So I think I might replace those, although there's a little bit of meat on them yet. I'm going to replace them. Okay, so the next thing is to get all the oil, excess oil off the calipers, and make sure that we don't get oil on the pads. So this is the cable, front cable. You can see just there's a change in colour. So that's where it goes into the outer cable. So you can see that's quite corroded and mangled up. Not helping. Okay, so service done. Well, clean and mainly fettling the brakes. Chain nice and clean now, and cassette cleaned up. Still a little bit of grime on it, but it's pretty good. Gears are still good. Brakes wise, let's have a look at the front brake. No movement there now. Nice and sharp. Yeah, and then look at the rear one. Little bit of first movement. Well, you get that with a rear brake sometimes because it's a longer cable. Might just adjust that. Okay, all good. And TPU tubes fitted. So we're going to see how they go overnight. I've had some that actually go down overnight, but pretty good. Okay, job done.